Yo, what up? What up? It's me, your boy, Minister Information. Get your pen and your pad. Let's take notes. Shouts out to Crumb TV Network. Y'all already know what it is. We'll be on the Tazz Show, man. It's collab, baby. Ooh, boy, it's about to be some heat. Tazz, let's go, man. Let's get this. Y'all ain't ready for this.
How was Alexander the Greek and his army able to topple the Egyptian empire? You will never read anywhere worth reading that Egypt ever had a standing army. Civilized people didn't need an army. They didn't need jail. They were civilized. Uncivil people need prisons, jails, rules, laws, police, sheriff, FBI, GBI, CIA. Uncivilized people need that. Peace and light, fam. What's going on? It's your boy MOI in the building. In fact, hippopotamus was actually whales' closest cousin, because whales used to have hips. Whales walked on water as well as land. Hippos and whales are the same.
come back over here talking about the Tazz Show told me. No, the Tazz Show didn't tell you nothing. The Tazz Show's for sending you some information. If you go invoking somebody and dumbing your ancestors, and when they see you, they get mad to see you, that's on you. Since we're talking about water, I have a question. What if water is God? What if it's God that we've always been talking about and looking for? The God above, and he's underneath us and he's all around. He's inside me. God is inside me.
Then that would mean God is both in us and all around us. That God is both above and below us. Why a woman's water breaks when we're born, and why some religions observe the ritual of baptism. But if water was God, then that would mean that God has no gender, that God takes the shape of whatever container God appears in, which would explain why we have so many different belief systems. Which begs the question, what is the spiritual significance of poisoning the water in Flint, Michigan, or the oil burning in the Gulf of Mexico, or the large islands of garbage floating in the Pacific Ocean? If God was water, would that not mean that every natural place is holy? That every thunderstorm was a church without walls? That when the rain falls, it's an act of God's death giving life, and when it evaporates again, it's the day of resurrection? And life itself was just a test of learning how to be and flow like water, how to give life to other people, and how to refresh their spirits and quench their thirst with your presence.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Peace and light, peace and love, Tazz. What's good with you, brother?
Peace, love, salutations to everybody. Peace and love to the MOI, to Crumb TV Network. It is a pleasure to be back on the platform. It's an explosive one, family. I'm coming back with a bang. Expect this to be a couple parts to this series. But before we even get into any details, brother, I appreciate you building with me today. It's going to be an explosive one. I'm looking forward to it. The family's here. The family's ready. They all showed up, and we're about to get it in. But before we do that, can you tell the people who you are, where they can find you at?
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, I think y'all already know what it is, man. It's Minister of Information, MOI. Hit me on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at Minister Informing. Rock with it, man. Crumb TV Network. You see how we bounce back? Listen. When Crumb hit me up, I said, boy, we got to put Tazz on the team. And this is the first time y'all hearing this conversation now. I told Crumb we got to put Tazz on the team because, we had to clean house a little bit on Crumb TV Network because we're new, we're still growing, trying to find our groove, whatever the case is. So we had to clean house a little bit. Some people that started with us are not longer with us, and that's okay because we love them too. But I told Crumb you got to get Tazz. And Crumb said, all right, I'll reach out to him because I said, I can call him. He said, no, I'm going to call him personally. I said, cool. Then he hit you up, whatever the case is, whatever the conversation was like. I was like, boom. Then we talked. I said, we got to go live Sunday. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? This is what building is, family. Like, whatever situation last year, whenever that was, that's a null, man. Like, this is how we take over shit. Combining the forces, aggregating the resources. Tazz is a great producer. Crumb has a brilliant brain. I have a brilliant brain. We all have brilliant brains. Like, let's Voltron, man. Like, and take over this shit. Like, there's no need for like Tazz can't reach Crumb people. Crumb can't reach Tazz people. Like, no, let's bring all y'all together. You know what I'm saying? When Tazz go live, he's still live. Like, Tazz still gonna do live shit on his platform not part of Crumb TV. Like he gonna give y'all the exclusive shit over there. You know what I'm saying? But over here, we're gonna hop on here. We're gonna build. We're gonna add to one another. Shouts out to Crib Jesus. Shouts out to Crumb TV. Crumb, my man on the highways and byways. Be safe, Crumb. I wanted to share screen real quick, Tazz, if you could, brother.
Please, brother.
I want to remind everybody, June 16th, you got to get the tickets. We got the retreat popping off down in sunny Florida. This is the peak of tourist season. A lot of people going to be down there, man. Limited seats, Orlando, Florida. Crom and I are going to put together a retreat, dope crib. Stay tuned in to Crom TV because he's definitely going to give y'all a exclusive tour of the crib, what everything looks like. But get those tickets, man. cromtv.info/events. Get those tickets. We're looking for vendors. We need sponsors. Contact cromtvads@gmail.com. We're only doing about 12 tickets. I think we already got about 5 or 6 sold. So, and it's not even April yet. So, I mean, by May we expect to be sold out. We're going to give you guys first dibs over here on Tazz Network. In case you guys didn't hear about it, here it is in person. We're doing live lecturing every day. We got a live stream Tazz in for that weekend too. Yeah, Tazz. I'm gonna tell Crom what we're gonna do is do a live VTC that weekend with you, and give you 2 hours to just live stream there at the retreat live.
Right.
This we'll do. Maybe we can go back to that Christ oil joint we was talking about.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And make it exclusive because from the Christ oil joint.
Did we lose the MOI? I think he might have been frozen. There he goes. Welcome back, brother.
All right. Yeah. Me and the sister circled back and did a couple of joints called the Penal Colony Invasion. Off of the fact that we came on your show at one time, we did like 2 episodes of that shit, man. So real dope. So things like that and more, man. June 16th through 18th, Orlando, Florida. Get those tickets. Big shouts to Crom. Big shouts to Crip Jesus, and much gratitude, brother, for taking this invitation, coming on here and rocking with us, man. Appreciate you. So y'all check it out. You get a chance. We'll show this again towards the end of the show so you guys can get the information, but definitely go over to cromtv.info/events for ticket information. For sure.
Facts. Make sure you get your tickets, family. There's only a limited amount. So make sure you check out the website, cromtv.info/events.
Yeah, events. Yeah.
So make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you subscribe to the website as well, because it's gonna come a time, family, where we will be streaming from the website, especially the exclusive material. So make sure that you go and subscribe, sign up, create your profile. So the people are gonna know who you are when you speak in the live shows in the website. So be sure to check that out. With that said, we're here because today we're gonna be hold on. Let me it's not in full screen. Let me why is it not in full screen? Did they change? Let's see. There it goes. My apologies, family. Technical difficulties. So today we're gonna get into some history, into some religion. If religion, well, I'm gonna do my disclaimer a little later. But Ancient Origins of Lilith is the title. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Before we go any further, let me address the family. How rude, I'm back in the building and I don't even address the family. So we got the first responders in the house. These are from my channel. Abiyanahuak, he says, let's get it. Nathaniel Bay is in the building. He says, let's get it. We ready. Salute to you and the Minister of Information. Jasmine in the building. She says, I made it. Salute to everybody. Universal Empress in the building. We got Solo 5000. Peace and love to the ancestors. We have the brother True King in the building. Peace and love to everybody that came. Mr. Goodburger in the building. To everybody that's here. Hope you guys enjoy the show. The show. Please make sure that you guys build with us on the comment section. So Big Dog Philly OG in the building. Peace and love to you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. But with that said, brother, let's get it in. Well, as everybody knows, I am the Tazz Show. You can find me under the Tazz Show on all platforms. Only on Facebook you can find me under Tasmaniac Wolf. But just Google me. Just Google me and you'll be able to find me. Not only that, but I also have a website where I produce where I show everybody all my products. TazzStudioProductions.net. Feel free to go check out the website. It's real cool. You'll find all types of different things. I do a lot of editing, a lot of web designing. So if you're interested or if you are looking to get something done, contact me and reach me at TazzStudioProductions.net. Quick little disclaimer before we go anywhere. Just for those in the back, that are always hiding in the back, just waiting for that moment of pounce. So the material and information content of this PowerPoint is for general information purposes only. You should not assume the information speaks in absolutes. No such thing exists. The concept of Lilith explained here is easily accessed with research in literature and the internet. My interpretation is a breakdown of my conclusion. We will be speaking of religion, etymology, world history, and the connection between all and Lilith. If any of this subject, especially religion creates controversy for you, this might not be the show for you, family. So keep in mind that I am presenting you my understanding, not the absolute truth. You should know by now that all truths are half truth and we're living our own version of truth. I encourage you to believe nothing that I say, but instead do your own research and come up with your truth and understanding.
And please understand that we're acting under the Truth and Information Act, and this show is for educational purposes only.
Facts, all facts, all facts. So we're gonna start with in the beginning there was Lilith. All right. Remember, family, the first couple of slides that I'm gonna bring up is gonna be my understanding of what Lilith is, and we could build on that if you want to. This is just my part where I'm explaining, even though we're gonna have this conversation or whatever, I would want the people to know what it is that I understand from the information. Now, while this PowerPoint will be explosive, all tales told around the world are exactly that. They're tales. Reality, in my opinion, is that Lilith was not made of dirt like Adam. That is the biggest tale. This is my opinion.
Now, hold on. Taz, I know you about to fucking take off right now.
Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted, because I was hearing you, but I wasn't paying attention. I'll be honest. You said something caught my attention. You said, while this PowerPoint will be explosive, all tales told around the world are exactly that, tales. Reality, in my opinion, is that Lilith was not made of dirt like Adam. That is the biggest tale. Okay, continue. Let's go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
Lilith was the last primordial supreme titan before the physical and emotional that involved the imprisonment of the ether on a physical body that can easily be manipulated. All right. So your body has this energy inside you. My understanding is that it's an ether energy. And while you're in that body, you're subjected to emotions. You could be manipulated, everything. Lilith knew that the physical realm led to this. And because of that, she refused that. That's what she refused. Now, the great fall of the ether was upon her, and she knew that a flood of physicalities was inevitable. She fights to this day for the return to greatness, which is the ether, in my opinion. Lilith refused to be made of atoms. The story of Adam and Eve and Lilith is a word prison trap that keeps us recycling back and forth. All right. Now, her revolt go ahead, brother. Go ahead, please. You're muted, brother.
Hold on, Taz, because you about to go there. Boy, you about to go there. And I'm glad that I can control the comments.
Oh, go. Who you talking about?
The last comment from Chris. Great question, Chris. Great segue to my point. Now, what the good brother Tazz just pointed out, y'all, and I love it. There's a word that you said. You said Lilith was the last primordial super titan before the physical and emotion that involved the imprisonment of the ether on the physical body that can easily be manipulated. So we're talking about the primordial Adam. To answer Chris' question, the primordial Adam. Could you let me share my screen real quick?
You still there, brother?
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Thank you. All right. So now we're talking about Adam Kadmon.
You're about to go in. Go ahead.
Also called Adam Eliun. Now, Eliun is the epithet of God of Israel in the Hebrew Bible. El Elyon is usually rendered in English as God Most High and similar in the Septuagint or Septuaginta, which is the Greek version. So now we have an understanding of what Elyon means. Adam Kadmon was also called Adam Elyon. This was the primordial God or the Most High Man, and Adam Illah or Allah. When they say Allahu Akbar, the Most High, when they say Elyon, El, they're talking about Adam. You see, Adam is Elyon, or from El, the creator. He's the Most High Man, the primordial man that was created in the heavens. He was created in the heavens. See, no man had been made from dirt yet. This is Genesis chapter 1. And this right here shouldn't be confused with what the word is. This is the demiurge. He's going to bring it up in a second. That's the next slide. Okay, I want to explain to people what they're looking at. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, IN indicates that something had already taken place. It should have said from the beginning.
Facts.
But it did not say from the beginning. You think this is the beginning. This is just in a beginning of multiple beginnings. This is the trick right here. That's the coup. Because in the Torah, it does not read this. It reads Elohim in the Torah. It said, in the beginning, Elohim created heavens and earth. Elo is the same as Elyon, because Elyon is the most high of all the Elohim. The Elohim falls under Elyon, for making sense. Sometimes abbreviated AKAQ is the first of the four worlds. He's the first of the four worlds because there's 7 of the 4. And it's laid out on what's called the Kabbalah. And the Kabbalistic teaching teaches about a place called Keter and a place called Melekut. Melekut is the lower spheres. It represents the earthly spheres. Keter is the heavenly spheres. It represents the above. You see that? Now, let's go this way. I pass the mic. That came in the beginning after the contraction of God's infinite light. Adam Kadmon is not the same as the physical Adam Hamrashia or Rashan. This is the Adam you learn about in Genesis chapter 2.
Facts, yeah.
This is the other Adam. This is the physical Adam. This is the Adam that was made from mud, from which he blew himself into that physical Adam. And the physical Adam was not carnal, because it wasn't until the creator killed animals and made for them skins, and that skin, that flesh, trapped the ether creature. Hold on, 127. I'm getting there. Here we go. There we go, right there. So Elohim created man in his own image and likeness. In the image of Elohim created he, him, male and female created them. And Elohim blessed them And Elohim said to them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. You got that?
Replenish, meaning that it was something.
Wiped away.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And see, here's the herbs being given. This is what Dr. Sabi had used for his court case right here. And God and Elohim said, behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed, which upon the face of the earth, and every tree. Don't get tricked by those two trees. And from which the fruit is of the tree yielding seed, it shall be for meat. This is where vegans come from. Right. Vegans want to go to some religion. Oh, what was that, bro? Okay. And every beast of the earth, every fowl of the air. See, he already created that. In chapter 2, he's going to go create a man and create more beasts of the field on earth. Because chapter 2 is going to tell you this is the creation of the heavens and the earth. Let me show this real quick, brother, and I'm going to pass it to you.
Go ahead. No.
Send you up for that next slide, because I've seen the next slide already. So, chapter 2 said, thus this is one place and two places. So chapter 1 was about the heavens. Now we're going to learn about the earth. Watch this. These are the generations. These are the children. These are the seeds. These are the sperma. These are the zazil. This is the bin of the heavens and the earth. They're telling you about two generations. This is the Genesis, the gene pool, the genesis of the beings from the heavens and of the earth, both places where life was created. Where? Earth and heaven. So we're talking about two different beings, an etheric being and a physical being. Go ahead, brother.
Facts. No, that helped with the next slide, because you set me up. Now I'm gonna grab it and just shoot from the 3-point line.
Let's go.
So the revolt, all right. Lilith revolted against being trapped in the physical, where feelings and emotions reign. She killed the first physical offsprings as best she could to bring them back to the ether. The war she waged to prevent her submission to any entity but self gave her the physical expressions we so admire, fear, and call evil today. We find her essence in ancient deities like Shakti or Kali in India, La Llorona in the Americas, and more. She is everything and more. She represents the great dark mother, the uncontrollable yet unconditional love that creates and destroys all. She is violence. She's balance, violence, and love. Not male, not female, but both. She was the last to resist the demiurge. She is the chaos we must return to or perish and recycle. All right. And for the family that is not too keen to who the demiurge is or whatever, we always got to bring receipts, family. We can't just speak out or whatever. But when we're talking about it's a subordinate God who fashions and arranges the physical world. All right, that in itself will explain it all to you. All right, this entity is a subordinate God who fashions and arranges the physical world. What say you, brother? You're muted, brother. You got your mic muted, brother.
All right, here we go. Let's share screens again.
Go ahead.
Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Boop, there it is. Yeah, let's get that up real quick. All right, so it's about the demiurge, right? The demiurge, a being responsible for the creation of the universe. And the Platonic philosophy, the maker or creator of the world. Okay, now let's go here real quick. Let's go here. Where's it at? Right. Hold on. I'm sorry. Right here. This is Corinthians 4:4. Let's go back to the demiurge real quick. Read this again. Let's read it real slow, okay, for everybody. A being responsible for the creation of the universe. Uni means one. One. Verse. Okay. The maker and creator of the world. We're talking about singular world. This one. Everybody see what it looked like over here? Do we kind of, let me go to images. Let me show y'all what demiurge looks like. That's the image of the demiurge. Y'all see that? That's the image of the demiurge. Now let's go here. Y'all see that? Let's go back to demiurge. Demiurge. Now let's go here. Stay with me. Those who know. Okay. I'm just going in order. Let's go back. I'm trying one more time. This is the demiurge right here. This is also a demiurge. You know it's also demiurge? These are demiurges. These are demiurges right here. How do we know? Because we learned right here. Tazz just told you about the war. And what came down here? A what? A dragon. Let's demiurge. A dragon came down here. Came down where? To Earth. And started to create. Genesis 1, Genesis 2. What came here in Genesis 1? Let's go back and read. And then we'll go back to the demiurge again, and I'm going to pass the mic. In the beginning, the demiurge created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of the demiurge moved upon the face of the waters. And the demiurge said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Then a war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. And the dragon and his angels fought back. Let's read more about this dragon that we're talking about, which is the demiurge that the book of Revelation tells you about. But he was not strong enough. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled down to earth. From where, I wonder? From the heavens, because the war was in the heavens. The demiurge is no other than Lucifer, who y'all call Satan, the dragon, who appears in Revelation and appears in Genesis, and it's always chasing the seed of the woman. That's what Tazz just read to y'all about the demiurge, about Lilith. And because we say Lilith, we automatically associate to the female species. It's genderless. It's no male or female. That's some shit we came up with in our minds to make it make sense.
That's the tale that we kept on passing down the down through history. But go ahead, brother.
For sure. So look, watch this. Let's go to Genesis. I think we're in chapter 3. Now the serpent. Now when you read chapter 3 in Genesis, you say serpent. Let's think demiurge. And when we think demiurge, where is it at? Let's also think dragon. We got that? So we can go dragon, serpent, dragon. And this is Revelation. This is Genesis. This is the beginning and the end. Let's read what it said about the dragon. The great dragon was hurled down, and that ancient serpent, you see that? Now the serpent, same thing, called the devil, or it's called Satan, Let's establish who this is real quick. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 4:4. The God of this world indicate that Satan is the major influence of ideas and opinions. This is 2 Corinthians. Satan, who is the God of this world. Do we see that? Let's go here. I'm sorry. Let's go here. So these three are the same. 1, 2, 3. These three are the same. These three are the same. These three are also this thing right here that Tazz is talking about. Thank you. Because this thing right here, this demiurge, is also known as a worm. Let me show you guys something. I'm talking about this for a minute, and it's just such an honor to Tazz. All right, got lost. There we go. So this right here, this and this are the same thing. What happened over here in this story, now the serpent was more subtle than any of the beasts of the field from which Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, ye, have God said ye should not eat from the tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, who we now know is the devil, or also called Satan, who is the God of this world, because this was the creation in the beginning, the one with the light. This word threw y'all off. This thing right here is this thing right here. I yield the floor.
Facts, brother. No, we appreciate that. Just to add something to it, as well, the demiurge, as we know it, it captures just like we see it right here in this top picture on the left side. Is known to have captured the 7 main planets, which in this picture, if we look at them in the order from left to right, we have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Earth and Pluto are not in that crown that he holds over his head.
Wait a minute. Now, if you're referring to that photograph right there, that's just the Kabbalistic tree. That's the Kabbalah tree. You pull up the Kabbalah tree, it all lines up. That's just a symbol. That's not really a thing, right? So let's share screen one more time.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to show you real quick. We're talking about the dragon. I just showed you who the dragon was. This is the dragon. This is the dragon. The dragon. The dragon. A great sign. This is Revelation chapter 12. It literally says the woman and the dragon. Now, the woman and the dragon had a conversation here in Genesis chapter 3. This is the first conversation between the dragon and the woman. This right here is the second conversation between the dragon and the woman, or second situation between the dragon and the woman. A great sign appeared in heavens, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. That's Ishtar.
Oh, this is the book of Revelations you read.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Listen, all I'm dealing with is the scripture. The whole night, I ain't going to no other book but the scripture. Because this is talking about the same entity. Whether you call it, whatever you call it, don't matter. It's the same entity. That's why I gave you 3 different names in Revelation. What we call it. Sometimes it's called this. Sometimes they call it Iblis or whatever they call it. Zazil, Tanin. There's several names for it, right? The moon under her feet. This right here is Ishtar or Nana. The 12 stars over her head. She was pregnant and crying in pain. Another sign appeared, Tazz. This is the sign you just read. In heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads, 10 crowns, and 7 crowns on it.
Right. Fact.
That's
Yeah.
your 7 you just read. That's the 7 things right there. That's why you name those planets, because this is the planetary position for Dracos.
Okay. Okay. So you attaching shit to the, okay. Okay. You teaching
I'm just
people.
adding value, brother.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Most definitely.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Moving forward. So we have ancient Near East. All right. Now, what we got to keep in mind, family, is we know this today as the Middle East. All right. Now, before it was called the Middle East, it was called the Near East. All right. Why did they give them those names? You know, the Middle East is because it's is the middle ground from going from the Caucasus Mountains to what we know as Asia, China, or whatever, you know. In the same instance with the Near East, all right, it's the nearest place to towards the Caucasus. But moving forward, so the origins, Lilith, known by legend as Adam's first wife, she was the first woman before Eve was created, and even before the eating of the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Lilith is the woman mentioned in Genesis chapter 1, while Eve was the woman mentioned in Genesis chapter 2. Story tells how Lilith refused to submit to Adam, and because of it became the mother of all demons. At least this is the way Lilith was portrayed by some in the early second millennium CE. The story of Lilith, however, dates back thousands of years and spans throughout countless civilizations. We will travel to worldwide history, dig up the facts, and research the ancient origins of Lilith. All right. And just as well, yeah. Do you want to add something, brother, before I go to the next slide?
Now, brother, please continue.
All right, all right. So now we go to the brother just pretty much broke down Genesis all the way through. Let me add some value to that with um with this. Now, the astute reader of the first two chapters of Genesis will notice that chapter 1 and 2 seem to be seem to contain different accounts of the creation of humans. For many Jews and Christians today, they don't see these two accounts as different. The explanation often given for this is that Genesis chapter 2 simply expands on the information given in chapter 1, which is what most religious people will tell you. You know, if you tell them that the story in Genesis chapter 1 is different from chapter, no, it's just expounding. We're just they're adding value, you know, they're extending on the story that they already began with in the beginning or whatever. But biblical scholarship since the early 1900s has taken a slightly different approach to answering this question. The leading theory today among Old Testament scholars is called the documentary hypothesis, which suggests that Moses did not write the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Bible. Instead, it theorizes that the book of Genesis is a composite made of many different texts, stitched and woven together by several different people over different time periods, living in different locations throughout the ancient Near East. But these two explanations haven't always been the understanding. Do you think that what say you, brother? One Moses or Moses says?
Well, we have to take a look at it like this, man. You have what's called the Torah, or as you said, the Pentateuch, which is the five first books of Moses. But you also have the Talmud, and the Talmud, Talum. The Talmud is men talking. That's when the Pharisees and Sadducees and um, the Jewish Kohen clergy kind of started to run the show over the tribes of Jacob. But they followed what's called the Soho of Moses. Um, they followed the laws of Moses to the letter. So with that being said, there were two different fashions from the beginning that taught two different ways. And again, if you guys read the Torah, it won't say in the beginning. It says Batashith, meaning one day or day one. And you get it doesn't say God, it says Elohim. And from that, When you realize that the Elohim are just the five creator sons of El, and you have the seraphim and the cherubim from which they talk about, then you're back at the seven again. Um, and the five creator sons created the planets, or what we know as our solar system, which is under the star of Kepler, which is the name of our sun. Um, these created beings begin to create. One created son was banished to Urantia, which the Greeks call Ithra or Earth. And once
Third
that,
Earth.
yeah, once that being was bound to Ithra or to Q or to Terra Minor, whatever you want to call it, that being began to create because that being had creative powers. Kind of like Superman. Superman was an L. Superman's father was an L. His whole family were L's. Elohim. They were creators. But he had this superpower because he come from another planet, another heaven. So some take it to mean that there was an actual creator being creating, fashioning things with his hands, and then he created a being to see after these creations. And this being got out of the order of from which the first commandments were given, because God gave commandments in the beginning that Adam didn't follow or his wife didn't follow. So it's two different stories. To sum it up, it's two different stories because it's two different places being made. The heavens creation was Genesis chapter 1. The earth creation was Genesis chapter 2. And the beings in the heavens were replicated to look like the beings on the planet. But the heavens, those beings, they were etheric energy, um, soul, they call it SOL, or Ka. And they had to put the Ka inside of the Ba, which was the body of man. And once the Ka was put inside the Ba, it became a living Kaaba. But that energy was supposed to elevate. Man failed. It had to elevate it. It became a Merkaba. It would have been a Merkaba. It would have been a super man, or in his right state. But it failed, so it became a Yahweh Elohim, and that's why in Genesis the beings said, "Now they become one of us." Genesis 3:22. Now they become one of us. Now they know right from wrong. Now they know evil from good. Now they know what God knows. So the serpent never lied in the first place. But the point is, this story can be interpreted to be one seamless story until you stop and you understand it's two different creations. Are you the floor?
Facts. That's a facts, brother. We appreciate you. Uh, so that explains to us, at least, the fact that there is two different stories, and it gives us a different perspective from what we already know. Now, this appears to be an ancient debate, what the MOI and I are doing, and Crumb himself, he's put a PowerPoint out there for Lilith as well, you know. Which I'll make sure that I link that the link to that PowerPoint in the description as well after the show, so that way you could go check out that build that brother Crumb did on Lilith. But this ancient debate records show that ancient people debated about this very subject as well. At times, they came up with different theories that usually came in the form of creating new and expansive stories to fill in the gaps. By the end of the first millennium CE, there was a perfect opportunity for the legend of Lilith to fill that gap. According to an anonymous Jewish text, which we know it as the alphabet of Ben-Zira, dating to the Middle Ages, the reason there is difference between Genesis 1 and 2 is because they are two very different stories. The first created woman in Genesis 1 wasn't Eve, but an evil demon named Lilith. Eve didn't come into the story until chapter 2. All right. So the alphabet of Ben-Zira, actually enforces the fact that that these are two stitched up stories that we now perceive, we're being told that is one story. All right. So it's not that we perceive it that way, it's that we're told that. And instead of going to go do our own research, we just go with the flow. It's like, oh, it's one story. Oh, okay. So, who cares that, he said at first he created a man and a woman and then he repeats himself all over again, So that for the intellectual mind, you're gonna look deeper into the concept, especially for us folks that have not rejected but looked into religion a lot more than just following and going to go see what Pastor Pork Chop got to tell you every Sunday or whatever, and as he passes the plate, that's the way it is. But I don't want the family to get too caught up on the fact that I end this slide with the first created woman in Genesis 1 wasn't Eve, but an evil demon named Lilith. Now, as we build on the PowerPoint, we're gonna expound even more on this aspect of this quote unquote demon. But to give you guys an understanding, let you guys see for yourself what the etymology. And we're not gonna read this whole thing. I'm just going to touch on specific parts of the etymon so we could comprehend and see what they're really talking about. Because remember, we can't just pass the pork chop said and just go along with it. So we have to come to a logical understanding of what a demon really is. All right. We got the brother Michael Phoenix in the house. Peace and love to the brother. We appreciate you. We love you, brother. Um, but moving forward, so a demon or a daimon is an ancient Greek lore in an intermediate spirit between humanity and the gods. All right. So a daimon is an intermediary that's somebody that either connects you or speaks up for you and it's always there as the middle person. Like when you go try to talk to the dead family. Let me When you go try to talk to the dead, you go find you a medium, all right? Because that medium is the connection between the living world and the death world. All right, you go find a medium. This diamond or this daimonium is what intervenes for you. All right. Now, you could pause the video and read the whole thing, but I want you to pay attention that at the very bottom it states that it is a guardian angel. All right. Now, in the etymon, according to etymology.com, it says an evil spirit or malignant supernatural being, an incubus, a devil, from the Latin daimon, spirit, from the Greek daimon, deity, divine power. All right, divine power, a guiding spirit. Now it tells you that it's a tutelary deity. All right, and we're going to go into what a tutelary deity is, but I want you to pay attention on the fact that the etymology itself, it tells you that the malignant comes from the Latin mal, which means bad. All right, so the bad sense is because the Greek word was used with daimonium in the Christian Greek translation and the Vulgate for God of the heathen idol, and also for an unclean spirit. All right. So the malignant part of the word demon actually was added in there by the Greek. Now Socrates himself had a daimon or a demon, and it was a divine principle, or he said that it was a divine principle or an inward oracle. You go ask an oracle for questions, family. All right. So now that we have an understanding of what the demon is, and a tutelary, for the family that might be a little wondering, tutelary is a deity or a spirit who is a guardian, a patron, or a protector of a particular place, geographic feature, person, lineage, nation, culture, or occupation. The etymology of tutelary expresses the concept of safety and thus of guardianship. Is that what you think of when you think of a demon family? I don't think we do. So I had to make sure that I added it in there. Did you want to add something in regards about demon, brother Ponder? I think the brother stepped away, so we're gonna keep it. We're
Oh,
gonna
okay, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, he's in the practice. Take a potty break.
go ahead, bro. Good, you good, you good.
Are you good? You good? Okay. What was your question again, bro?
No, that did you wanted to add something on the etymology of demon
Um,
aside from what I already
I
obviously.
think we can press on. I just want the family to understand that on is the deity. On.
Fact.
DEM. Don't be confused by no spookism. Okay. That's what they put on it. But on is the creator, like the lights on, the light bringer, the light creator. You're gonna see a lot of Latin translation or retranslation through Latin. You can also look at phosphorus, and phosphorus also means the same thing, the light bearer or on. So, nah, good job. Continue. It's good.
Right. So let's go into Sumer because we're gonna travel our way through the world. We're gonna hit the Americas. We're gonna hit the Middle East. We're gonna hit Asia. We're gonna hit as many places as we possibly can. Probably not today. Today's gonna be the first part of this build. So just stay tuned for the second part and other builds that we're gonna have throughout the process. Make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe. All right, like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you give us a comment if you are watching this at a later time. But Sumer, all right. So when we're talking about Sumerians, to thoroughly trace the origins and history of Lilith, we must first travel back in time over 5,000 plus years to one of the most ancient, not one of them, not the, all right, not the most ancient, but one of the most ancient civilizations of all time, the civilization of Sumer. The Sumerian peoples were the first civilization to permanently, quote unquote, settle into the land of Mesopotamia, which is located in modern day Iraq between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. The earliest mythology of Lilith was likely born here in Sumerian oral tradition. We know very little of who Lilith might have been during this time period, considering oral tradition is by definition oral and not written down. All right. But this is going to show us, family, that why there's some of the reasons why there is such a bad negativity that is implemented in certain parts of the world like Iraq. All right. Uh, well, what we know today as Iraq. You want to add something, brother?
No, brother. Continue, please. I'm learning.
So the Lilitu of the Lilim. All right. Now, scholars believe that the mythology of Lilith must have been originally passed down orally because she, or more accurately, they. All right. This is the main one of the main points that I want the family to understand from my understanding. All right. When we're talking about Lilith, we're not talking about only one being, one deity. We're not talking about just one specific one. Why? All right. Because she, or more accurately, they featured prominently in later written Sumerian texts. The concept of Lilith first appeared in Sumerian myth in the third millennium BCE and were a class of wind and storm demons called the Lilitu. All right. So Lilith was not just one person, it was a class of demons that had the powers of, or they were the manifestation of wind and a storm called the Lilitu of the Lilim. Storm of the X-Men is part or became one of the Lilitu. Keep in mind that the Lilim were not just ones. Hence, Storm became one of them, fitting the role perfectly with her specific mutant powers. If we know about her, Storm, we know that she controls the a storm. She could create a big storm or whatever, and that's how she was. And I'm gonna show you guys how she was added through the mythology that was passed down. I'm not telling you that yes, Storm was a real person. Oh, Taz just said that Storm is a real person and she was the Lilith. No, family, I'm giving you the mythology of what was passed down throughout, and it's still being passed down throughout concepts right now. All right. So, but they were a class of wind and storm demons known as the Lilitu. So there was more than one. All right. Now, did you want to add something before I go to the next one, brother? All right. So we're gonna do a quick little sidebar, and we're gonna dig into the entertainment industry, which is gonna give us a quick look at how even today, the entertainment industry is worshiping this deity, whatever you want to call her, Lilith, or and the other names that she's had, and we're going to go into in future slides. All right. So the entertainment industry now, the mutant, from mutant to Lilith. All right, we're talking about Storm. Over the years, plenty of Marvel heroes have been attacked by vampiric forces, including the legendary Dracula. One of the most consistent targets of his vicious attacks is Storm from X-Men. In the core Marvel universe and the greater Marvel multiverse, Storm has even been turned into a vampire and joined the Lilith, which is run by Dracula's daughter, Lilith. Her name appears in two characters in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. The first of these two appear was the daughter of Dracula. Like her father, she is also a vampire, although her powers and weaknesses differ from most other vampires. She first appeared in giant-sized chillets featuring The Curse of Dracula, which was the first one that they threw out there in June of 1974. All right, and we could see a cover of that comic book that Marvel presented to us. All right, and it says Dracula. Her name is Lilith. She is also Dracula's daughter. All right.
Okay. All right. Now I want to add value.
Go ahead, bro.
We want to deal with this. We go back to the other slide too.
Okay. Go ahead.
I had finished my fish. So we're talking about Dracula, right? And I want the family to understand. First of all, hit my goddamn Cash App because I'm about to drop some heat on y'all. Right? $ Chef JJ. Drop some donations. I'm passing the plate. Okay. We're dealing with Dracula. We're dealing with.
Brother. Hold on.
Okay.
$
Chef JJ.
Chef JJ. All right. We're gonna put it out there. Just go ahead, brother. Go. I just we're gonna do it right.
We're dealing with Dracula, so we're dealing with off the rip. Could you share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
So off the rip, we're dealing with Vlad the Impaler. We talk about Count Dracula because Count Dracula, Vlad Dracula. This is him right here. This is Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler, facts.
He was the second son of Vlad Dracula, of Vlad Dracula. Vlad the Dragon. What dragon we talking about, Minister? What dragon? We're talking about the red dragon. What red dragon are you talking about? Because I told y'all I was about to tie this shit in together. Watch this. The Order of the Dragon. What dragon are we talking about? Now, we're still talking about Vlad the Impaler. But Vlad the Impaler was under what was called the Order of the Dragon. Count Dracula. Remember Dracula. Remember Dracula. Because Dracula and Count Dracula are the house of Dracula. The Draco Society. Watch this. Draconian star system. A traditional name for Alpha Draconius. Its Bible means head of the serpent. I'm not going to tell y'all but a couple more times to tie that shit together. Woo. There are 3 stars above magnitude 3 in Dracos. The brighter of the 3 and the brightest star in Dracos is Gamma Draconius, traditionally called Itama Altenia, I think. Alten. It is the orange giant star of a magnitude of 2,148 whatever light years from Earth. But I'm showing y'all the Draco star system for a reason. Because the beings that come from this Dracos or this dragon are the same beings that rules the House of Dragons, from which Dracos or Vlad the Impaler, he comes from that house. Vlad the Impaler. What the hell?
They
Vlad, here we go. This is Vlad the Impaler of the Red Dragon. Dracula. The brother said Dracula. I'm showing y'all who Dracula is, or who Count. Count is a title of nobility, like Squire or Your Honor. That's what Count means. Now, Count Dracula was captured by the Ottoman Empire, and the Ottoman Empire actually used Vlad the Impaler to topple the Byzantine Empire. In the Moorish Science Temple, it asks the question, who took the head off of Satan? And it says 1463 Byzantine. It's talking about Muhammad II, who grew up with Vlad the Impaler, because Vlad's father, Count Dracula, had to surrender his two sons over to Muhammad II. So the significance of that is that the fact that when Muhammad II toppled the Byzantine Empire came under the order of Gothic rulership or Dramatic rulership. And the order that took over the Catholic Church was, watch this. Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. The Order of the Red Dragon. There we go. It actually became an actual brotherhood called the Order of the Red Dragon. Now, the Order of the Red Dragon is also known as the Holy Roman Empire. This is the Roman Empire. What is he talking about? I'm showing y'all that we have to get off the idea of a name of a being. He's saying Lilith. I get that part. I get Lilith. Later, Brother Tazz is going to talk to you about how Lilith also loved to sacrifice children. But he just told you that Lilith was Semitic, or Mesopotamia, or the ancient land of Shinar, or the ancient land of Baal, or Babel, the new Lord of the Israelites. And he loved to sacrifice children. He's going to talk to you in a second about how Lilith wanted to sacrifice children, but don't get it twisted and thinking that Lilith is a female. Because after he talked to you about that, I'm going to tell you about that Lilith was a patriotic deity that dealt with storms, like he just told y'all, and dealt with fertility, dealing with children. And the Hebrew included this term in reference to Leviathan. I'm sorry, the Levites. And the Leviathan, or what they call a Beelzebub, or a demonology, which was the false god. He just showed y'all all this stuff, but don't get caught up on the name Lilith. Listen to what he's saying. She's a storm god. Let's talk about the god of storms then. Let's talk about the god that dealt with children then, the fertility. And it wasn't about Lilith. It was a whole crew of them. These were the fallen ones. These were the fallen ones that came down with him, the dragon, the red dragon from Dracos.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With the 7 heads and the 10 horns and 7 crowns. Each of these 7, 10, and 7 represents a body of entities that fell with him. Because the woman off the rip had the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. 7 and 7 is 14. It's not the same stars. It said another sign appeared in the heavens, which is above, an enormous red-tailed dragon. An enormous red-tailed dragon, a worm. And this is what the Creator told this creature in the beginning. It told the creature that it's going to take his legs from him. Watch this. And the Lord God said to the serpent, because thou hast done this, art cursed above all the cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go. Why on thy belly thou shalt go? Why on my belly, though? Why on my belly thou shalt go? This is the demiurge from earlier right here. Why on my belly thou shalt go? What is happening? What is going on? Because it used to have legs. Now it don't have no legs. It has to crawl everywhere. But this is the same dragon. This is the Tanine. It was several of these Tanines. Let's not get caught up on. Before Lilith, you had other entities. He's going to show you the other entities in a second that had the same MO as Lilith. Because Lilith is not the first thing. Lilith is not even Lilith. There was a name that was created. It's a construct name.
Right. That's a Jewish name.
Right. The entity is what you should be concerned with. The serpent. Now later, Tazz will show you a lady with serpents in her hair. That was also compared to Lilith. It's not the lady, it's the serpents, which is the seed of the one who fell down here. Who is, I told you again, I'm show you one more time before I pass the mic. Who is the God of this world? I didn't say this. This is his world because he was thrown down here. In Genesis 12, he was thrown down here. When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to the earth, he still chased the woman who gave birth to a male child, and the woman was given 2 wings. This is Isis, so that she might fly. You see that? Out of the serpent's reach. This is the same story that was happening here. I'm sorry. Here. The same story was happening here. Y'all just didn't realize it because y'all wasn't taught to read the Bible from Genesis. I'm sorry, from Revelation to Genesis. You read the Bible in reverse. Now go back and read the Bible from Revelation all the way to Genesis. It's a whole fucking different story. It's the truth.
I have a way of reading, bro, that every book that I read, I always started from the end. I have no idea why, but I always did. So I read the Bible I started in Revelations.
Right. Now let me ask you this question before I pass this. Who was the author of the book of Revelation?
Jesus.
Right. It's Jesus giving a revelation to John. So everything that's being said, Jesus is kicking the game to John to tell John what he must tell the 7 churches in the East.
Facts.
So that was the right thing to do. I'm showing the parallel between Baal, who is a storm god, in the same land you just said. Then you're not going to find any worship deities with the same MO as Lilith. Lilith was a fucking mythology. There's no Lilith statues anywhere. He's going to show you statues of deities that they actually worship with the same MO as Lilith, dealing with storms, infertility, and can be compared to hell itself.
Yeah, there is no statues of Lilith nowhere. There is statues of representations like Astarte, in the Greeks, or Inanna and stuff like that, but no statue where you could go and say that's Lilith, and I know that's
But these are the statues of Lilith, who is also known as Beelzebub.
Right.
That's the part. But see, we're talking about dealing with the books. What ancient books talks about Lilith first? Baal. The word Baal comes from the Greek, which appears in the Nova Testamentum of the New Testament. So this is new. Baal is even new. In the Septuagint, from its Latinized Baal, which appears in the Vulgate. The Vulgate is an older book. The Vulgate is older than the Septuagint or the Septuaginta, whatever they call it. And this is the point I was trying to tell the sister on I forgot the brother show about the different books from the Septuagint, from the Vulgate. So different interpretations are going to be in there. So if one book says Lilith, and you can't find no statues of Lilith, you can't find no civilizations even worshiping Lilith, but you can find civilizations worshiping these deities in statues who has the same attributes as Lilith. And it's in the same location as you just mentioned. Then we have to draw a parallel line and study the Semitic religion itself, which is going to take you back past Lilith, and you're going to deal with deities like En. You're going to deal with deities like On. So when you see the word demon, you understand On is another deity, not a hideous creature. And that's the only part I wanted to interject, bro. I just wanted the people understand
that's powerful. That's powerful.
There is information about a storm deity who dealt with fertility and also loved to eat kids too. You know what I'm saying? So
right, facts.
Please continue. I yield the floor.
Facts. So I love the fact that you're adding so much value. So I appreciate you. Family, we got almost 150 people watching. If we could get the likes up a little bit, that'll be greatly appreciated. Hit the like button, family. You lose nothing by hitting the like button. We just passed a little bit over the hour mark. We appreciate you for being here. We love y'all. The brother is having, and let's take a little intermission, brother, and let them know about the event that you're having with Brother Crumb, so the family could easily go and get your tickets, family. Get your tickets before it becomes too late, and they sell out, because they will sell out. I guarantee you that. So I don't know if you want to share your screen or if you want me to keep going. No, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
All right. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me pull it up on my screen real quick. Thanks for the alley for this, man. But yeah, definitely, family. If you guys can tap in with me and the good brother Crom, man. All right, share, bro. June 16th through 18th, man. We're gonna be in Orlando. Hit us up. I'm speaking live the whole weekend. Crom speaking live the whole weekend. We're gonna hook up a video teleconference to get brother Tazz to stream live down there, and the special guest that Crom has in the bag. I'm excited about the special guest he got streaming live, man. She's gonna be lit. But yeah, we only got, I think, 12 tickets. We may have 10 tickets left. I don't know what we got left right now. I know the motherfuckers are selling like hotcakes, and it's only happened to June. The Juneteenth retreat, I'm gonna be going live, going on my infamous PowerPoint, the truth about Juneteenth. I'm gonna go in for like 2 hours. We're going in. The crib got a pool, so bring your bathing suits, swimming trunks, whatever the case is. We're gonna have good food, good time, man. Just get ready to vibe out, man. It's gonna be something that we're gonna step into the summer with, man. Big salute to the sun god Ra for this one. It's gonna be right in June. You know what I'm saying? So those tickets can be found on cromtv.info /events. Looking for vendors too. If you want to vend, you want to do virtual vending, hit up Crom, man. Hit us up like ASAP though. Shit going like hotcakes, man. I'm not lying to you. You're gonna be there. You're gonna hear about it. Hopefully you're gonna be listening. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, Taz.
Be there or be square, family. crumtv.info /events. Make sure that you get your tickets before it's too late. So moving forward, brother. So we're talking about the mutant Lilith now. Not only was because Marvel is one of the. This is where I'm going with this. We're gonna see that Marvel has been pushing this even to this day. So we've seen Ghost Rider also has a comic book that involves Lilith. All right, and it's a powerful one. I seen it online, and I looked it up and read it. So it's a powerful story, and they have a similar version that they added, but it was a small part to the Ghost Rider movie. So you guys will have to pay attention to how Lilith actually makes an appearance in the first movie, not the second one, the first movie of the Ghost Rider. All right. But Marvel has been pushing this for a while. So we have Dracula, we have Ghost Rider and Lilith. If you, I haven't watched True Blood, but I know that there is a character in there that's the personification of Lilith, and she is also she's named Lilith, but she's also a vampire. All right, which adds to what we had just mentioned in regards about her and being a vampire and the original vampire that the brother broke down. Now, Marvel Universe also has a comic book named Lucifer, which some of y'all might have already watched in Netflix, the Netflix series Lucifer, in which he's having a great time in Los Angeles. You know, if you know that Los Angeles stands for the angels, so the angel city. So it's it was funny that they used Los Angeles as the place where he goes. But he's fighting his self. He's fighting his higher self and his lower self while he's there. And in that series, we also find the character Lilith, which is her right here in the middle. All right. So we see that Marvel is pushing this throughout several comic books that have been made into movies or shows, because we don't like to go to the movies. We want to stay at home and do everything, so but we also have that in this one. Now, within the Lucifer series, Lilith has a daughter. Her name is Masakine, and she is the highest ones of the Lilim. All right, she runs the Lilim. Even within the series, they tell you that the concept of Lilith is not only one. There is a Lilim that all fall under the clan of Lilith, or whatever you want to call. All right. So we do find that concept within this series Lucifer. I'm not gonna encourage you to go watch it or whatever, but do expect a PowerPoint of Netflix exposed that I'm gonna be dropping real soon, and I'm gonna drop a nuke about Netflix. So get ready for that one in the coming times. But Luke, did you wanted to add something before I go forward, brother? Because I'm right now I'm just gonna speak in regards about these comic books. So another place that we find her in is the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is an American supernatural horror streaming television series developed by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa for Netflix, based on the Archie comic books. I know you remember. Well, let me not say I know, but if you're of a certain age, I'm 47, family. So I got to go to the store and buy an Archie comic book. That was the thing back then. They were super popular. It was this dude right here or whatever. So the one, if you know of anybody, probably a teenager that has watched the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, within her there is a Madam Satan, who that's her title, but she is Lilith and is Lucifer, the one that reigns over her. All right, just like Dracula was reigning over his daughter Lilith or whatever. But even here in the Archie comic books, we find that. And not only that, but even in the music industry, we find that Lilith has been not only worshipped, but there's been tributes. There has been a lot of tributes that the music industry has put out there, So go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No. I'm gonna do this. I want you to continue. It's just crazy. I brought this shit up as soon as you said that shit. Share my screen real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
This is something that I had. This shit I did like a couple of weeks ago. I did a part 2 to this as well. I gotta do a part 3 to this as well. So when we're talking about Lilith, we have to rid ourselves of thinking it's a female. or a male. It's both. It's both. So in women, it'll show up looking masculine, and in men, it'll show up looking feminine. For sure. I just wanted to share that right there. You continue, please.
Facts, facts, facts. So, if you are aware of this album from Prince, it says Jupiter and Venus are frequent planets used to commune with using symbols and rituals. There's an ancient association with these planets through the Sumerian goddess Ishtar, who is known in the Bible as the Queen of Heaven. All right. Remember, the brother was just speaking to you, about the queen. She had a crown, a crown of I forgot the exact scripture, so I'm not gonna annihilate it. But the brother just told you about a queen with 7 crowns, I believe he said. Well, she was the Sumerian goddess who is credited with fertility and love. She is worshipped in more modern times through Easter, which is Ishtar, and the music industry resonates her motives in videos frequently. Prince's 2010 album cover is a homage to Ishtar from the symbols, colors, alchemy, flowers, and the constellations that match. All right, because even the constellation itself is being put in the cover as you see it. And if you look at his symbol, you'll be able to tell that the symbol of Jupiter and the symbol of Venus are both within the album cover. All right.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead,
Now, hold on. Oh, what is it? This is fun, man.
bro.
All right. Now, let's go. Let's share my screen real quick. Now,
You're not sharing,
hold on.
bro.
I know. Hold on. So
Oh.
let's understand what Tazz just put out in this PowerPoint, family, because being on TV network and me being as big as a part that I am of the network, we ain't got to rush about shit. So time is not even a factor right now. Okay. So we have to get in a hurry. Write down the information that Tazz is giving y'all. Jupiter and Venus are frequent planets used in commune with using symbols and rituals. There's a ancient association. I'm sorry, hold on. Got kids. All right, my bad. There we go. There's an ancient association with these planets through the Sumerian goddess Ishtar. Now, Ishtar is the mother of Dumuzi. Dumuzi is the son of the child of Ishtar and Tammuz. Okay. Now we're talking about galactic bodies. We're not talking about nothing else but galactic bodies. That's why I keep telling y'all, don't get caught up in no Lilith, because you're going to keep hearing references to the cosmos. You're going to keep hearing references to different galactical bodies. I just showed y'all. All right. Let me go to my share screen because now it's time to teach.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Because now it's time to teach. Here we go. Now let's take them to school real quick. Amos 5:8. There are those who turn justice into wormwood and cast righteousness to the ground. He who made the Palladian star system and the Orion star system, who turns darkness into dawn. Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. Darkness into day and night, who summons the waters and hovered above the face of the water. And the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the water. And darkness upon the face of the deep. Deep means water, ocean. Okay. Over the waters of the sea, and pours them out over the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. So we have another reference in Amos 5:8 dealing with a planetary star system like the Pleiades. If you're not familiar with the Pleiades, watch this. Palladian star system. This is the Pleiades star system. Now, the Pleiades are also known as the seven sisters. The seven sisters. The Pleiades are the children of Atlas. These are Atlas children. the seven sisters. The seven sisters, as I showed you before, is also right here in Revelation chapter 12, dealing with the dragon or the Draco's star system.
Facts.
I'm not gonna play with y'all with no goddamn Lilith or no names. I'm not gonna play with y'all that low vibration shit because now we have motherships that the military is telling us in our star system. They're here. These jokers not gonna play no games, y'all. The Galactic Federation ain't gonna play with y'all. Y'all keep learning this primitive fucking history and information you want to. I'm not throwing shots. I'm telling y'all it's time to step your game up. Brothers like Tazz, myself, Crip, Brother Crumb, we the last of our kind is trying to teach y'all some information. Like some mind-blowing information. Like some right knowledge type shit. You can't turn on nobody YouTube right now and they're teaching y'all how we teaching y'all right now. There's several star systems. This is Draco star system. This is the Palladian star system. The Pleiades, also known as the seven sisters. What seven sisters, minister? Right here. Right here. Another sign appeared, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns in his head. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them down to earth. These stars represent beings, different beings who came from different star systems, who got flung down to earth. Islam, we good?
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Let's go back here. Something created the Palladian star system in the Orion star system. This is the Orion star system. Hold on. Orion star system. And the Orion star system is part of the 7 brightest stars. Hold on, let's go back to this real quick.
Right, and this PowerPoint has a whole part on just astrology. So we finna go even deeper into this when
we're about to take off. I'm just prepping them to show them we're talking about different things. The Orion 7 brightest stars. I can show you the same brightest stars right here. The war in the heavens, Michael, the angels, the Los Angeles, the brothers mentioned earlier, the Palladian star system, the Orion star system, which were all created and made in Amos, I think it's Amos 8:5. I'm sorry, Amos 5:8. It tells you about those star systems. Please continue, man.
Facts. No, let me add value.
But I'm going to continue to tap in like this and just catch the family up because I don't want them to get caught up in such a situation to where they begin to fantasize about something. Like I want to keep them grounded to say, yeah, Brother Tazz is telling y'all about Lilith and telling y'all about Jupiter and Venus and the symbols. But now let's go into the scriptures and find the same information to bring. I'm just bringing receipts. Tazz giving y'all the information. I'm backing the brother up because what he's giving y'all is right knowledge. I'm just making it make sense for y'all. Continue.
Facts. So just to add value, brother, because the next slide adds on to what you just said. Now, Princess Tribute, all right. There are 7 stars, which is the very constellation association with the goddess Ishtar, located in the bottom right of the 2010 album. All right, and I put arrows to the 7 stars right here on his left hand side. All right, on the left hand, where right next to where his left hand is at. All right, so there are various Sumerian myths which point to what? To the Palladians. The brother just broke it down to y'all, all right, which are the 7 sisters as the home of Ishtar. We also have the Asterian color alchemy used with the symbol for Jupiter in her astral aspect. Inanna/Ishtar is symbolized by 8-pointed star. The colors red, carnelian with the color blue, and lapis lazuli. Give me 1 second, brother.
And while he's doing that, I want to have the family understand that Again, these star systems we're talking about, these galactic bodies we're talking about, Prince coming from uh, the Pleiades star system, but more so from a system called Andromeda. And that's what Prince gives you. He gives you an androgynous figure, Andromeda. But we can deal with Andromeda later. Just matter of fact, Tazz Studio. I'm about to go right now. See if we can find Andromeda. Planet Andromeda. Andromeda. This is where Prince come from.
My apologies about that.
No, you good. I'm just showing them.
It's my son's nap time and he going through a thing, fighting his sleep and shit. But
It's
let
all
me
good.
share your screen. You were showing something? Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm showing in the star system from which Prince comes from.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, watch this. Let me read it right quick because it's in the way. Watch this right now. The Andromeda Galaxy, also known as MESA 31 or M31 NGC 224, originally Andromeda Nebula, is a barrel spiral galaxy. Hold on, because I'm on my what's called live too. Is a barrel spiral galaxy with diameter of 46.5 kilospheres, 152,000 light years, approximately whatever that says, from Earth, nearest large galaxy to the Milky Way. So the Milky Way is one of our largest galaxies, right? Which is a cluster of stars. But also Andromeda, from which Prince come from. The galaxy name stems from the area of Earth's sky, which appears in the constellation of Andromeda, which itself is named after what? After what? Named after what?
I'm not right there where you're at.
Let's go down. The galaxy's name.
Princess, who was the
Who
wife
are the wives of Perseus in Greece mythology? See, we can go on and on, but everything gonna go back to the solar system, no matter what earthly name you give it.
Facts.
It don't matter what earthly name you give this shit. And as we get into the talking about the stars, I'm gonna give you guys different star systems. Now, I gave you Palladian, you have Orion, you should have Dracos, and you should have Andromeda, which is a galaxy, not a star system. We talk about the difference between galaxies and mansion worlds and all that stuff later. But for now, just write that down. I yield the floor, brother.
Facts. Those are facts. So, and before I even move to this out this slide, well, the last sentence says lilies are the flower that are linked to Ishtar, and we can see there's a lilac lily flower in Prince's left hand. All right, he has a lily in his left hand. So this is his tribute, but to be even Prince been a while since the brother has left us. But if we look at something very, very recent, another tribute, all right, like Tazz, what the hell you got Chris Rock sitting right there? Who saw the Netflix special where Chris Rock goes and just goes off completely on Will Smith? During that show, look at him, family. Look at his necklace. What necklace is Chris Rock wearing, family? What necklace is around his neck? He's got the Ishtar symbol. He got this symbol right here. All right, look at this purple symbol right here, and look at his purple necklace. Is the same symbol. Now, is he paying tribute to Prince? Is he paying tribute to Ishtar or whatever? That's your decision to make, of what you believe that it is. But even to this day, there's still appearance of that. All right, not only in that, but there is other ones that have happened. All right, now if you've seen the movie Queen of Heaven, remember, family, we were just talking about how Ishtar is known as the Queen of Heaven. Now, if you watch the movie Queen of Heaven in Jupiter Ascending, you will see that Mila Kunis plays Jupiter Jones, and she has that Ishtar headdress and that Ishtar similarities that are looked upon. Even Beyonce had a similar crown upon her head that made of flowers to make her tribute. All right, so we're seeing a pattern within this stars, both male and female. All right, but not only Mila Kunis and Chris Rock and Prince, but we also have Katy Perry. All right, who in the Super Bowl, a couple of Super Bowls back, she was riding on top of a lion. Now, who rides on top of a lion? We know Ishtar is the one that rides on top of a lion. And we were just talking in regards about this lion. So that gives us the fact that this industry, this entertainment industry, is doing a type of ritual even while they have their performers dealing with certain things. Go ahead, brother.
Um, y'all already know I'm gonna super in and add value, but the Tazz saying right quick. So share my screen. Oh boy, this is too easy. All right. So we have here, family, a diva. By definition, or somebody's definition, a successful, glamorous female performer or personality, another spirit, especially a female singer who's achieved popularity pop. That's what they're saying. And they got it broken down into the etymon as well. So this is Beyonce's video, I Am a Diva, right? In this video, she's not Beyonce, she's Sasha Fierce. She's gonna morph into Sasha Fierce, the one with the hot sauce in her bag, and the more gangster version. This is a diva. What is a diva? Etymology. The word diva derives from the Italian for female deity or goddess. The close association with prime donna. It emerged in the early 19th century when many leading sopranos became so famous and celebrated that they almost became like the eyes of the adored public, a diva, a singer. Beyonce is a diva. She is a god.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I just wanted to add value to that situation. You're talking about diva, right? Beyonce also represents the two pillars, which is Boaz and Joshin. That's B and J. But we'll get to that later. Beyonce is a diva, a deity, sky goddess. I yield the floor.
Facts, 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 all facts, all facts. So now that we've looked into that entertainment industry, we could dive right back into Sumer because that's where we see the tales, not tale as in a tale from an animal, but the tales, the stories that have originated. All right. So if we look at Inanna, one of, if not the earliest references of Lilith can be found in the ancient Sumerian text called Inanna and the Hulupu tree. This story was likely passed down orally initially until it was eventually written down between 2900 and 2750 BCE. She was originally worshipped in Sumer under the name Inanna, and later by the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians under the name Ishtar. She was known as the Queen of Heaven and was the patron goddess of the Ina temple at the city of Uruk, which was her main cult center. She was associated with the planet Venus, and her most prominent symbol is included in the most prominent symbols included the lion and the eight-pointed star. All right. Now, just as a reference to make sure that we do, when we're talking about this eight-pointed star, we're talking about what we know today as the compass or the North Star. All right. And if you guys are familiar, just to see it again, just to show again one last time about the entertainment industry, you see the little. You guys are probably wondering, like, what is that dude at the bottom just kicking his head? He's just going crazy, you know. He is the main character of this Japanimation. All right. That's called the Fist of North Star. It's a very gory animation, you know, if you guys are interested into any of that. But his power comes from the 8-pointed star, the North Star. That's where he gets his powers from, and it's from a goddess that is providing him these powers. But we also find that in the Iraqi, in the old Iraqi flag. All right, which you see it right here at the top right hand corner. This is the old Iraqi flag that we find in where we find the 8-pointed star. But did you want to add something, brother?
Yeah. So I want to go back to keeping it tied into a little bit of history. Because the brother is mentioned that the Akkadians, he mentioned the Babylonians, he mentioned the Assyrians, which are all part of the empire of Shinar. In case you guys don't know, the empire of Shinar was ran by Nimrod. Nimrod was the emperor of those three lands: Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyria. Also, the land of Ur. It's Urik, referring to a group of people, but the root word is Ur, from which the Chaldeans come from. Also, the priests who worship they burnt bullshit or holy shit. Those individuals also were from the land of Ur, which is the Ring of Fire. And there was a cult there. But if you can share my screen real quick, I just want to keep driving this point to tie you back in historically with Lilith, because I want us to understand beyond Lilith. So anybody that comes to us with a conversation about Lilith, we're able to at least have a scholarly conversation with them, understand that Lilith represents many of things, not one thing. So Lilith, the dark goddess, queen of the night, mother of evil spirits with wild and dangerous sexuality that brings terror and chaos, demonized for being feared, she stands tall as a symbol of freedom and choice, the one who won't submit. And that's what the brother read earlier. Lilith is also associated with the moon goddess. The moon goddess. The moon goddess is also known as Sin. Now, the brother said earlier, what you call it earlier? Nana something. Enon. You had shared her name earlier associated with Lilith.
My apologies. I was muted. Inanna?
Inanna, right?
Right.
Okay, so Inanna comes from Nana as a Nana Sin.
Fact.
Or what's called the Nataru. Nana Sin or Shur or Moon, Nanar, which is a god with the god of the moon. Is a same location, Mesopotamia religion, Sumer, Arcadia, Assyria, Babylon, Amron. There's several other places associated with the Middle East dealing with the kingdom of Ammon and the Amorites. Okay. He also associated with cattle, perhaps due to the perceived similarity between the bull horns and the crescent moon. So the crescent moon we see on as in Islam, and we see it with the Shriners. That's not the same thing. The crescent moon on the Shriner's hat is the claw of the Bengal tiger, or it also can be associated with bull's horns, not the moon. And the crescent moon, and he always described as a major deity throughout a few sources. Most of those are religions, and Nabonidus was the last king of Neo-Babylon Empire. Consider him the head of the Mesopotamian pantheon. So this moon deity, who he said was Ina, whatever her name was, is actually Nana. And Nana, when you deal with Nana Sin or the Nataru, you continue your studies, you also get down to the Akkadian moon god, Sinu, a Sin. If you keep researching, you're going to get all the way down to Inca and Enlil, dealing with the lunar crescent of the moon deity. Now, the moon deity, again, is associated with Lilith. But where else have you just seen me talk about the moon and a woman? A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. This is Lilith. Just like Just like this is Lilith. Talking to Eve. I'm trying to show y'all the association, how to tie it together. We talked about the stars, the 12, the 7, everything that Brother Tazz is showing y'all on his PowerPoint. I'm going into the scriptures and showing you the same exact thing. Because this is just an astrological book itself. Everything that the brother's talking about can be found or traced back through the stars.
Right.
All the way through the Pleiades. And these are just symbology, symbols. That's why the crescent moon and the star is around the demiurge who represents Lilith in the first place, because the moon and the star, which represents a sun, S-O-N. Stay with me. Hold on. The moon under her feet represents, hold on, my bad, y'all. Represents this right here. The moon under her feet. And it's going to be a sun over her head, which is a star. Or S-O-N. S-U-N. Same thing. Stars above her head. She gave birth. 7 heads, 10 horns, stars out of the sky. She will give birth to a male child who will rule the nation with an iron scepter. And her child was snatched up by God. The woman went into the woods. The war broke out in heaven. Michael kicked so-and-so out of heaven. So-and-so, which is really a dragon or a Tannin, got hurled down to earth. Then the story picks up from here. This is how we find Lilith, which is a body of entities, not just one entity. It's a body of entities that's represented and told through the story of a woman, whether it's the woman of Genesis or the woman of Revelation, who both are dealing with the seed. Watch this, because I said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Watch this now. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thou seed and her seed. That means the serpent could have children. The beef was between the children. Lilith is always known for messing with children.
Facts.
Revelation, the dragon had the beef with the freaking child, not the woman. Then watch this. Then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring. And those offspring kept the commandments of God and hold fast the testimony about Jesus Christ. This is the war between the two seeds. I will put enmity between their seeds. This is what the whole situation of Lilith is about in the first place. This is her story. This is the story of Lilith, dealing with children, the seed. The war has always been right here. Lama, from the Greek, bearer, great resemblance to Lilith. Both characters, Ionic appears. Lama is cited in the Queen of Libya, who turns into child-murdering demon because the hatred was already put there between them. And the dragon wanted the fucking seed. Is you with me?
Follow you, fam.
So hold on. So these hold on. These creatures I'm about to show you next. These entities. Share my screen for me. These are the seeds of Lilith. These are Lilith's children. Because Lilith is Satan. Satan is the devil. Devil is the ruler of this world. And if you wish not to be one of the spawns of the children that just showed you that the enmity or the hatred was put between, you have to choose sides. And for thousands of years, spawning thousands of these entities. They've been spawning for thousands of years. Come on, man. I yield the floor, bro.
Those are facts, brother. Those are facts. Definitely facts. Let me get back over here and add value because it's explosive. It's going everywhere. We're about to reach 175 people watching. We appreciate y'all for sticking it out with us. We love y'all. Make sure that you hit that like button. Hit the like button. You lose nothing by that. If you are enjoying the information, definitely. If you want to show some love, make sure that you hit the brother MOI at money sign chef JJ and hit him up on the cash app. Make sure that you show some love. And these are the ancient origins of Lilith. But moving forward, brother, because this is deep. So let's talk about the Sumerian creation. All right. So the tale tells how Enki, the Sumerian god of creation and wisdom, plants a tree near the bank of the Euphrates River until one day a strong south wind uprooted the tree and blew it into the Euphrates River. As the tree was floating down the river, Inanna, the Sumerian goddess of love, war, beauty, and fertility, justice, and sex, plucked the tree out of the river and planted it in her holy garden in the Sumerian city, Uruk. She cared for the tree day and night, wondering how long it would take until the tree was big enough to make for herself a throne and a bed. 10 years passed, and the tree was thick and tall. But then a serpent who could not be charmed made his nest in the roots of the holupu tree. Then Anzu, the bird god, set his youngin in the branches of the tree. And the dark maid Lilith built her home in the trunk. Inanna, the young woman who loved to laugh, began to weep. Oh, how Inanna wept! Yet they would not leave her tree. So this is the Sumerian story of creation that we're told. All right, and in the future slides, I'm going to go into how all of these connects to mythology that originally came from even further behind during Egyptian times. But we're going to talk about that later. Did you want to add something about the Sumerian? There's still a second slide to the Sumerian creation. So if you want, I'll go on to the next one.
Nah, share my screen real quick. I'm sorry. I think
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah.
My bad. Apologize. Me. All right. So let's talk about Enki. All right. Because I know a lot of people don't really know about Enki, Enlil, and Princess Ea, and their father, from which they come, Anu or El. Let's just say El. El was the artificer of about 17 mansion worlds. And as I looked at my notes, I could probably give you the numbers real quick, family, in case you want to know the numbers of these different mansion worlds. 1 second, sorry, I wasn't prepared to read it. But anyway, as I looked at my notes, Enki was a mischievous god of wisdom, magic, and incantations who resides in the oceans under the earth. Now let's make this make sense, because I know we hear about Enki, Enlil, and fucking Zachariah Stitchens and the Anunnaki and all that shit. People just be repeating shit. So let's deal with it. Enki was definitely a mischievous god of wisdom and magic, incantations who resided in the ocean under the earth. Enki is the one that's right here. Let me show you what Enki is. Enki is the one that saw this right here. All right. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and void, and dark upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. What looked up and saw God moving? Who saw God moving? Enki was already there. This is the second creation. This is the creation of the story of Zachariah Stitchens. So stay with me, because Enki is not even the first one. I told you earlier, the first deity in Sumerian Lebanon is Anu. Anu is the first one. Anu was the sky deity and the supreme deity known in the Sumerian and Anu in Acadia. So this is the number one deity. Anu is. And see, Enki, who we just talked about, and his brother Enlil had a sister named Ea. And this is the pantheon of the Sumerian text. Enlil was one of the supreme deities of Mesopotamian pantheon. He decreed as a fate, his command could not be altered, and he was the god that granted kinship. His temple, Ike, or the mountain house, was located in the city of Nepater, the religious center of Mesopotamia into the second millennium. His temple was the most important temple in south of Mesopotamia. Now, you got Enki, write down Anu, write down Enlil, also write down, where is he at? Nabu, write down Nabu. I mentioned Nabu earlier, as in the Naburians, Nabaru, or Murdoch. The patron deity, god of wisdom, first millennium. Nabu is one of the most important. So if you're talking about Enki and Enlil, you don't mention Nabu, you're in error. Mesopotamian deities, first, a minister of Marduk. So Marduk predates Nabu. You have to go into Sargon as well. I want you guys to have the right information. See, in apologies to Brother Tazz, but what I don't want to happen over here on this network is that you guys only tune in to be entertained. We're not here to entertain y'all. We're here to actually teach y'all information. So I want to slow down the vibration, because we can come on, me and Tazz do this shit the whole week for 3 hours every day. You guys still won't get the information. It's so much information. So I want to add value where I can. And I appreciate Brother Tazz's patience while I jump in and add value, because I know all 100 of y'all cannot be following what he's saying. There's no freaking way. You're probably going into a situation where you becoming what's called confused at that point. This is the goddess he was just talking about earlier, Ishtar, which also represents the deity that stands in the moon with the moon crescent in Revelation. Same entity, which also represents the planet Venus. You have to learn which constellation does Venus reside in, which house of stars does Venus reside in, also known as the morning star. We know who the morning star is, according to the Bible, the bright and morning star. So let's not get caught up on a name, because if you get caught up on a name, Lilith, you're going to miss all this information that we're showing you right now. You're going to miss everything Brother Tazz is trying to tell you right now. You're going to miss everything I'm trying to tell you right now. Mother, like it goes through the entire pantheon, y'all. It goes through the entire pantheon of deities who had the same attributes as Lilith, Tiamat, goddess, primordial sea, which is the goddess of the first created. She's also the main adversary of Marduk. This is Tiamat. Tiamat is the goddess of the chaotic water. But do you know who Tiamat also represents? This is Sumerian culture now. Let me show y'all something. Tiamat also represents this is another pantheon that he's going to talk about another time. These are the Enads. And the Enads is a whole nother entity, celestial group with Gab, Nut, Tefnut, Shu, Atum. These predate who we were just talking about in the Sumerian culture, Mesopotamia.
Yeah, facts.
These are the Nanasin. These are the Enads, different group of non-primordial deities, away from these deities over here. I yield the floor.
Facts. No, that's great information. The family do gotta understand that If you sit down and just listen to the information and don't get caught up on the mythology and the tale, on uh, on the glamour of the story, all right, then we could arrive at a totally different place. All right, so we appreciate y'all, but to even go further, all right, because that's not where the story of the Sumerian creation ends, because we do have a Captain Savaho. We- because she was crying, she was depressed. It's like, man, I got a damn bird on my tree. I got Lilith over there, and she was pissed. She was pissed. So Gilgamesh came to Inanna's rescue, adorned in his extremely heavy battle armor and wielding a 700-pound bronze axe. He strikes the serpent dead, causing Anzu, the bird god, to fly away. Then Gilgamesh smashed Lilith home, driving her to flee into the wild, uninhabited wilderness. In this ancient story of Lilith, she is not yet seen as a demoness, but instead of a powerful nuisance. This is where Lilith finds her place within written history in the most ancient form of the Sumerian mythology and their ancient gods. Now we are going to look into an even further date than the Sumerian gods, but we're walking our way through the world. All right, that's where I'm trying to get you at. So we also have Lamashtu. All right, when we're talking about Lamashtu, Inanna and the Hulupu tree is not the only place within Sumeria that we find Lilith. Lamashtu also finds her connection within Mesopotamian mythology due to the current way Lilith is perceived as. The demoness appears as a heavily pregnant human woman with the head of a three-eyed jackal, a raven's wings, a snake tail, and a vulture's feet. Her distended belly is crisscrossed with ragged scars, and she wields twin blades. In Mesopotamian mythology, Lamashtu was a female demon monster, malevolent goddess, or a demigoddess who menaced women during childbirth and, if possible, kidnapped their children while they were breastfeeding. This is one of the mythologies that starts to give us the tale of this association with children and having to sacrifice them or take them away or kidnap them. All right. Uh, and that's what takes us to the personification of Lilith, how the tale was personified. All right. Now, if we look at the similarities of Lilith has to owls, should be rather obvious after reading Inanna and the Hulupu tree. Lilith makes her home in the trunk of a tree, just like owls. Then she goes off into the inhabited wilderness, which is where we find an owl's home. Lilith's name is usually translated as night monster or night creature, but can also be translated as screech owl or little owl. As a matter of fact, the scientific name for a little owl is the Athene noctua Lilith. And yes, the Athene is a name after the Greek goddess Athena. And on the very top, we could see the version of the name version of Lilith. All right. And her association with how she started becoming associated with owls, how the tail started to grow to something outside of what it was originally meaning, going into a whole nother into another concept. All right. You want to add something, bro?
No, no, go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
All right. So to add into the European version, because we did talk about Athena, and later on in the PowerPoint, we're gonna add value with Medusa as well, since she is on his shield. But the rock crevices in Athens and the Acropolis in ancient Greece were filled with small owls believed to be the embodiment of Athena. Scholars believe that many aspects of Athena actually come from ancient stories of Lilith. The Lilitu Sumerian myth could have originated with Lilith being the personification of night owls. This personification in the ancient world almost always comes in the form of deification, becoming a god with an expansive mythology to follow, meaning that they were adding all types of stuff as it went down through all these places, because we were just in Sumer. Now we're all the way out in Europe. There's a path that it has to take just to get there, and throughout that path there was all types of things that were added to the story. Now this personification in the ancient world almost always comes in form of deification or becoming a god with an expansive mythology to follow. This can also be seen in ancient Egypt mythology as well, with Sobek as the crocodile god and in Horus the falcon-headed god. And we're going to go into the Egyptian concept of how, in my opinion, we find Lilith, quote unquote, but it's just how it changed, from Egypt to Sumer. From Sumer, it went all through the Middle East. From the Middle East, going into Europe, and the vast and plethora of versions of Lilith that was inputted. Did you want to add something, brother?
Yeah, my screen. Family, do not get caught up in the fact that we're talking about Lilith, but also look into the story. Nahash, I told you about Nahash, the serpent, snake of Eden, biblical serpent, ancient snake, trickster. I just showed you who Inke was, the trickster, the magician. Other possible identities are Samuel, Iblis, Lilith, and Lucifer himself. That's who Lilith is, Nahash. Let's go down to the second one right quick. See, I'm not here to play with y'all. Serpent are referred to both Hebrew and often identified as Hebrews, Satan, and sometimes with Lilith. That's who Nahash, the serpent, the ancient dragon. Lilith is just another pen name for one and the same. Please, please, please don't get it twisted. Trickster, wise one, seraphim, Lilith, Nahash. Nahash. That's the name right there. That's the old ancient name. I yield the floor. I just want to point that out real quick. And I'm gonna keep driving that point, goddamn it. Because Tazz got some heat over here, and I don't want y'all to get caught up in the fairy tale, but rather come into a greater understanding of what he's trying to break down. Continue, please.
Fact. So let's look into Christian religion, all right, and Lilith, because when it comes to Christian religion, there's really two, but the second one is we're going to talk about it later. So but the main one that we know of, where it's a main reference, as we know through the translation, the only clear reference to Lilith in the entire Bible is found in the book of Isaiah, chapter 34:14, where it says that desert creatures will meet with hyenas and wild goats will bleat to teach each other. There are night creatures will also lie down and find for themselves a places for rest. Now, night creatures, this is a translation from the NIV Bible, which chooses to translate the Hebrew word lalith as night creatures, all right? But if we look at the different versions through the translations, because remember the book was translated over and over. I've done I got 5 different Bibles, that I've looked into in three different languages, and there is certain words that I tell myself, I'm like, why did they use that translation when I would have used something else? And that thought pattern that I come across lets me know that the people that did their translation, they had the same thing. Oh, I'm going to use this because this resonates with me more than that word, or maybe that other word wasn't available at the present time. All right. Want to add something, bro?
No, I mean, just piggybacking on what I already said earlier. Like, the same thing can be said when you go back to Genesis and you see serpent. Just translate the word serpent to Nahash, which represents Lilith. Just put Lilith where serpent is everywhere in the Bible. Revelation, that's Lilith. going after the children, trying to rob the seed. Like that's what it is. That's a story. So, what you said, I think that's great to make the connection between the word night creature and who Lilith is. It, they, them appears a couple times throughout the scriptures. There. Go ahead.
Facts. So now that is the one the one scripture that we know we find, and salute to the goddess herself, Salima Ellis. Go watch this sister channel. She be dropping that she did a build with brother with the MOI pineal colonies. Y'all gotta watch them. Go subscribe to the MOI channel, his YouTube channel, and check out the build that he did with the goddess herself, Salima Ellis. They go deep into into the subject of the penal colonies. That's just a little side.
Hey, do me a favor. The last comment. You see that? With the eyes. No. Last. Go down. Right there. Ruach Hukadus. Man, does anybody know what that means? That is crazy. Just totally off script. When I sing Ruach Hukadus, that's powerful, brother, sister, whoever that is. That's powerful. If you guys don't know what the Ruach is the breath, the holy breath. And a Ruhukadus is the power, the power of the Elohim going inside of man. So that's powerful. I've never seen anybody put it as a name before. So honest and honest for that. That's dope. That's all I wanted, bro. Ruach. No, that's right. Facts.
Wow. I didn't know that's what that meant. Definitely didn't know.
Yeah, that's the holy breath, man. Wow. Seraphim. Okay, go ahead, continue. Yeah, okay, so the seraphim, yeah, we didn't really dive into the seraphim and the cherubim, but as I said before, the cherubims are under the commandments of Satan, or Iblis, as y'all want to call him. Those are the seraphim can be found in the book of Isaiah, and the cherubim can be found in the book of Ezekiel. Cherubim all can be found in Genesis chapter 3, 21 through 23 for the cherubim. So, all right, go ahead.
Facts. So, traveling mythology. So, what does the author? So, because remember, we're talking about the book of Isaiah. All right, that's what I want to pick on right now. The book of Isaiah. All right. Now, what does the author of this section for the book of Isaiah really mean when he uses the Hebrew word Lilith? Does he really believe in Lilith, the Sumerian storm goddess and demoness? Historically speaking, this is likely what's going on, according to my understanding. The myth of the Sumerian Lilithu had longevity, meaning the mythology of Lilith didn't die out as many myths often do over time. What started in Sumerian mythology continued into Akkadian, Assyrian, and later Babylonian mythology as well. We know civilizations shared ideas when two different cultures came into contact with one another. Most of them didn't live in big cities with no outside influence. Ancient civilizations came into contact with each other in two different ways. One, through the trade routes, because there was a lot of trade going on at that time. All right. And two, military conquest. And we all know what takes place when two cultures cross-pollinate. One culture usually takes the ideas and concepts from another culture, they adapt it and change it slightly to fit their cultural landscape. This happens all the time in the ancient world, especially in the case of religion and mythologies. All right. So there is a traveling mythology that is happening throughout this whole process. And it's something that we know that occurred due to the trade routes and the military conquest that happened. Everybody, the winner of the war gets to tell his story.
Yep.
All right. So we know that, oh man, that's a pretty dope myth that this people have or whatever. We gonna adapt it, but we gonna put a twist on it, and we gonna add our own people's or our own version or our own twist to the story or whatever. And now we gonna call it this instead. All right.
Anytime.
So the journey, what likely happened is that the mythology of Lilith spread westward via trade routes and military conquest and eventually made its way as far west as the Mediterranean Sea and even beyond, as we could see right here in this map. And it went all the way, through Turkey, went to Greece, then it went into Europe, and we're gonna look further into that concept. A quick example is an easy example of this can be seen by taking a look at Inanna. She was Sumerian and later known as Ishtar in Babylon. The Canaanites, Hittites, and the Egyptians adopted her mythology and called her Astarte. Then she spread as far as Greece, where the Greeks called her Aphrodite, and the Romans called her Venus. And we have a little. You could pause the video if you want to. Take a screenshot or whatever, because I think this is a very thorough sequence pattern of how the mythos goes from one idea and moves forward and moves forward, and they keep adding. Some things are taken, some things are replaced, but the idea of this deity, quote unquote, remains. What say you, brother?
No, I mean that's exactly what I was speaking about earlier. I mean, like no matter the pantheon it came through, it all goes back. And we can go back past what you just put up there, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great rendition of how things get lost, and in let's call it interpolation, not interpretation, but interpolation, which is adding on our own things on top of what we see. So yeah.
Have you seen the movie Lost in Translation?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it puts a whole new concept on the translation of words and everything. Even though if you watch the movie from that angle and that perspective, it'll give you a totally different whatever. But it's an older movie. It's called Lost in Translation. But I just wanted to add that out there.
Sure.
But yeah, that's a good example. So my synopsis will be this. So who or what was the author of Isaiah 34 referring to when he used the Hebrew word Lilith? Historically speaking, there is two viable options, all right? And truth be told, it's a little bit of both. The author of Isaiah 34 likely knew of the story of Lilith, and I'm certain by the mid to late 8th century BCE, which is when most scholars believe that the first Isaiah was written, the story of Lilith was well established through the entire ancient Near East. So the author of this biblical passage had to, at the very least, know what mythology he was referencing. All right. Now, did you want to add something, bro?
No, go ahead.
So the bottom line is this. The question then becomes, what was the mythology or cultural understanding of Lilith in Jerusalem in the mid to late 8th century BCE? That's a mind-boggling question, but we can almost 100% certain that Lilith wasn't seen as the first wife of Adam or the mother of demons yet. That view of Lilith doesn't come for another couple of thousand years. At this point in time and in the geographical location, Lilith probably looked a lot like her Sumerian and especially her Babylonian counterpart known as the Lilitu. She would have been heavily associated with owls, hence they are both creatures of the night. Owls are predatory birds, meaning they must hunt and kill animals to survive. Lilith was no different. She was a creature of the night believed to snatch people away and kill them, especially babies. So should the Hebrew word Lilith used in Isaiah 34 be translated as little owl or Lilith? Well, we got to take something into consideration. Considering there is another Hebrew word already for owl, and we have it right here on the top left-hand corner. All right. So this is the Hebrew word for owl, and this up here is the Hebrew word for Lilith. All right. And we could see that they are not one and the same. Are they similar, kind of, sort of? Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you, say that they have some resemblance, not complete resemblance, but but I could go with that, or whatever, since we're not too familiar with the language, but we could tell that there is another Hebrew word for owl. Then I think the correct translation would be Lilith. What do you think, brother? You think it was little owl, Lilith, or?
I mean, I'm going to stick with the translation of the fact that an owl is associated with moonlight and her just being the goddess of the moon, which is associated with Ishtar of or Nachash. I'm going to stick to the fact that Lilith is associated with a serpent versus an owl. I think the owl association brings about a night thinking and a full moon, almost like a Halloween type image in your mind. So I'm going to decline to say that the owl is associated with what Lilith represents, more so just the time of the evening it represents versus the person. And I'm going to stick on the side of Lilith being known as Nachash or serpent versus an owl.
Facts, facts. Okay, so there you have it, family. We have two plausible ways of how it could be interpreted. Hence, you could see why there is so much debate in regards to this. All right, now we're moving on to Jewish religion, and this is where we're gonna cut it off, and we're gonna leave it for the family to be able to just digest what we got from what you guys saw. Greatly appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna pick up right there with the next time. I'm not sure when exactly I'm gonna do the second part, because I'm gonna present different presentations throughout the process. But we appreciate y'all. Tommy's skill figure said y'all going hard tonight, which is what I was thinking exactly of the presentation altogether. We appreciate you. We so much for the support. Make sure that you guys go and subscribe, share all our platforms. Go to the MOI under the Minister MOI YouTube. Go check out my my YouTube under the Tazz Show. Make sure that you guys go and check out my website at www.tazzstudioproductions.net. There's a plethora of things that are going on in there. As a matter of fact, I'm having a chess tournament in about 3 weeks, and we have like 6 people so far. The tournament is going to take place inside of the website. So if you're interested, if you know how to play chess, if you like it, go subscribe to my website and check it out. But before after you do that, make sure that you don't miss this event that's coming up. CrumpTV.info/event, brother. Juneteenth. You think they're ready?
Man, listen. Let me tell you something, man. The part that y'all not understanding is how many freaking tickets are left. Hold on, let me put That's the part that I understand. It ain't if they ready or not. It's a matter of getting y'all damn tickets. I'm gonna put a flyer real quick. Give me a second. It's a matter of getting those tickets, and a matter of me showing you where to get tickets from. I guess, right? But if you go to Crump TV, is it // Hold on. There it is. My bad, y'all. I'm tripping.
Yeah, crumptv.info/event.
Share my screen real quick.
There we go.
It's not a matter of y'all being ready. It's a matter of how many tickets are left. And I got to get with Crom and check out. I know it's only like 11 seats, man. Only 11 tickets. Come hang out with us Juneteenth weekend in Orlando. Tickets are very, very, very affordable. Like, I can't believe how cheap the fucking tickets are to come and hang out for the whole weekend. So these kind of conversations are going to go on the whole weekend, but live in person. CrumbTV.info/events. You got any questions you considering, want to kick some dollars off of sponsorships or be a virtual vendor, crumbtvads@gmail.com. Orlando, Florida, man, we going to fuck in. We going off. And we got Brother Tazz going to tap in virtual. We got the big screen and the projector. We're doing virtual streaming. Not only Tazz, Crumb is also working on a special guest. I almost said who it was, but the fuck up. But special guest, a special guest will be tapping in with us. Live stream tickets are available too. Don't think just because you can't pull up in person to be there. We would love to have y'all in person to be there one-on-one with us. But if you can't, for whatever reason, due to, got a toilet work or whatever the case is with the kids or the fam, those live stream tickets are available at crumbtv.info/events. Get those live stream tickets, man. Either way, tap in with us, man. But we'd love to have you in the flesh. Brother Tazz, thank you again, man. I greatly appreciate it. Next Sunday, man. So my thing, Tazz, is trying to do something every Sunday. Myself or Crip Jesus will hop on here every Sunday, do something. So we'll tap in next Sunday. But throughout the week, I think Crom has gave you the run of the mill, man, to run your own thing on Mondays to Wednesdays, Friday, whatever you're doing it. So
right.
if you need me to hop on with you, man, just shoot me a text. If I have time, I'll definitely hop in with you and add value. But definitely looking forward to this beautiful build and what we're going to do over in Crumb TV Network, man. Tazz Show, welcome aboard, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much for having me, brother. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward to it, and make sure, family, that you stay tuned. You stay tuned, because I will have my own show that I will be broadcasting through Crumb TV. More than likely, probably on a Monday or Friday or Saturday, one of those days. But I will be tapping in with the family, MOI, with Crumb TV, with our brother Crip Jesus as well. So expect us to be rotating all around our platforms. Make sure that you guys subscribe. Go check out all of our channels. Subscribe. Give us some details about what you think of the information. Make sure that you slap the bell so you could hit all the notifications, because you got to do everything to make sure that we beat the algorithm. All right. That like button.
The AIs are going in. The AIs against us, y'all.
Yeah,
the AIs are against us. They're probably hearing us right now.
Most definitely. So make sure you hit the like button. That is always free. If you're interested and you like the content that we provided for you, make sure that you show the brother some love on the Cash App @ Chef JJ. We appreciate all donations. We will be passing the plate around, so we appreciate all the donations that you guys are passing on to us. With that said, family, we're going to leave exactly like we came, in peace, and we're going to go out with the Crumb TV Network final small film that I created. Come make sure that if you're interested in some of the editing that I do or whatever, go check me out. Like I said, on Tazz Studio Productions .net. But peace and love to the family. Peace and love to the MOI and everybody in the future that's going to see this. Peace.
Peace.